My name is Gloria Eichenauer. I'd like to introduce myself to you in this video, give you a little background on me, and I'll give you a sense of what it is to work with me in a therapeutic exchange. Most people find me on the internet and they ask questions that hopefully I can address here in this little short segment. Hopefully it won't be more than 5 or 6 minutes of your time. So 40 years ago, I got a master's degree in clinical psychology from Eastern Illinois University, and I very quickly went into institutions to work with dual diagnosed mentally ill. That's annoying. I'm just going to take those off. I worked in hospitals and agencies with the population of people that were basically managed through prescription meds and behavioral type treatment plans. So I was very happy to segue into the positive psychology movement that came in the 80s. Later on, Wayne Dyer, you may have heard of, Deepak Chopra, Byron Katie, Dr. Joe Dispenza, Bruce Lipton. These are the pioneers in the psychology of epigenetics. You can Google any of this stuff and get just a wealth of information showing the research that they are now finding that the way we think, the way we feel, the way we orient out of our state of being, which is a physiological state of being. It isn't just a mental, belief system. It's a feeling state of being, is what's creating our life experience. And there are all kinds of ways to get awareness about that. Much of our way of being came from our early childhood conditioning. And when we agreed to things, we didn't realize we were agreeing to. Before the age of 7, you really didn't have a frontal lobe to critically examine and come on board with a way of being. You were just being told pretty much. Your teachers, your well-meaning parents, your culture, wherever you grew up in, your religion, the government. The government would see to it that the textbooks would have certain versions of what they wanted us to know and what they wanted you to learn and what they wanted you to become. So a lot of times I get older people who are like, that doesn't work for me. The belief system is just button up against their truth. There's a dissonance when those two forces come. Younger people in their 20s, they're not so quick to agree to it in the first place. There's just like, that never fit. I never felt like that was the way of it. And so by questioning the beliefs, you can come into alignment. The work of Byron Katie is my favorite for that. She pioneered the work, 4 questions and turnarounds, which is an inquiry system. I can teach it to you and then you can do it on your own. She's also got a website, thework.com, where she's got volunteers all over the world giving it away. So that is my favorite, but my favorite modality for most people. But there are times when there's trauma, and I like to use EMDR, eye movement desensitization reprocessing, just fancy title for a modality that was discovered by Francine Shapiro, that when the eyes fluttered, it processed trauma. It brought it forward and it somehow transmuted it, lost its charge. Trauma is defined by PTSD is perceived as like when you think the thing that happened in the past is here now. It like triggers you into believing that you are now experiencing it again, and which is exactly what you are doing. And then the trauma further grooves itself into your psyche. So this eye movement desensitization reprocessing is a way to bring it forward in the office through a technique that's painless, and it goes into a part of your mind, your brain, where you can recall it in its entirety, but it doesn't have the charge, the heft, the physiology. So you're relieved of much of that you're carrying around and don't even realize you're carrying. It elevates your nervous system. Some people just walk in with a heightened anxiety about life and they don't really know where it's coming from. Well, there's trauma in the body from an early age. You don't have to be a vet or a victim of sexual abuse to carry trauma. So I love the energy psychology modalities that are coming out. Um, I'm tapping my meridian, freedom tapping. There's also hypnotherapy and the practice of yoga and meditation. So I am in favor of all the alternative modalities and working with awareness primarily, recognizing that when you're caught up in thought, you really don't have a choice. You're caught up in your thought. You're believing your mind. You're you're going to act like I was going to hit my knee, like a knee-jerk reaction. There's not going to be a space there for thought. But when you pump prime awareness, you may be able to sit back and see what's happening and just come into that stillness. That in itself can transmute a lot of problems, perceived problems. So I love to, if I can spark that shift for you, oh my goodness, the lights come on. It's my favorite thing is to see your face when you're like, I see it, I get it. And the seeing is the freeing. And it can be that easy. It really can. It really can be that easy. Therapy doesn't have to be a painful process. It's kind of like finding out Santa wasn't real. There's a little sting to it, but then you're like, what? All that fuss. I'm free. I'm free. You're free. You're free. You see through your thoughts and your beliefs and what you thought was true, and there's a freedom around that. So that's about enough. That's about enough about me. You can go straight to my website and purchase a session. There's software there for you to pay for it. It's all gone through PayPal or whatever major credit card you want to use. I call you right away, probably within a day, to confirm an appointment. If you are wanting me to process insurance for you, I have a list of the carriers on the site, an insurance verification form on the insurance tab. That might be more like a 2 to 3 day turnaround. And I get back with you on your copay and an appointment, and we process those claims for you as well. I'm doing that. Still not much longer though. Not much longer. My days are numbered. Maybe another year. We'll see. We'll see if I make 2019. So you have a sense of me, how I work, a little bit about my background. And if it resonates with you, I look forward to hearing from you. Namaste.